Yo people, how's it going? So, how often does it happen to you that you get stuck? You have a cool lead going on, you have a sick beat, but you just can't make it sound special. Whenever that happens to me, I try to do some layering. It always solves the issue. But in this video, rather than layering sounds, we will layer plugins. This technique works especially well if you have simple sounds with a rich sound source, such as this. This is the acid line I made in my previous video, you can watch it right there. This video is split into two parts. In the first one, I will layer two of my favorite SoundDesign plugins. In the second part, I will layer Ableton stock plugins, make a rack out of it, which you will be able to download for free. So let's start with the first layer. I will start with Filterverse. We will keep it pretty simple. So this is a filter plugin which is absolutely insane. It has all of these different filters which literally do not exist anywhere. Some of them are reverbs, some of them are distortions, some of them are delays, and they all act as filters. Super cool. I want to use the decimate, which is essentially a beat reduction. It also has a really cool modulation section where you can choose from simple shapes like the LFO classic shapes all the way to these really cool step shapes. Maybe let's use something like this. So our key of our track is G. So let's type here G8. Nice. Let's assign the sequencer to the filter and let's type in 12 semitones. Let's actually slow the rate to 2 bars. And let's change the shape to something else. We can make this stereo. This is already sounding pretty sick. Let's take another filter, put it on bandpass, and this will be controlling our high frequencies. So let's type in G8. Let's add another sequencer. We'll put this on unipolar, and we'll type in -24. Let's change this to the bread and butter, which adds a bit of a wider filter. Let's also type G7. Let's change it from unipolar to bipolar. And let's change this to 12. Adding a little bit of drive to compensate on the lost volume. Now, this doesn't sound as good because we only have the high frequencies. So if you click on this circle and then create another chain, now we can load another plugin to modulate the lower frequencies. So for the lower frequencies, I will use Supermodal. It's another filter, but this one has 27 modal filters that basically resonate the sound against physical models from the real world. So let's put this on bandpass, and this will be controlling our low frequencies. So let's add a sequencer on a rate of 2 bars, and let's type in 12 semitones. Let's add another sequencer on a rate of 2, and this will be controlling the blend. This has a really cool effect. Let's put this on stereo. Together. We started with this. This is absolutely sick. Let's see how we can do the same thing with Ableton stock plugins. The reason I wanted to include Ableton stock plugins is because not all of you can afford buying these plugins. And what I want you to do is use the technique in this video and not copy the exact same plugins I'm using. You can make this your own by using different plugin and experimenting. I will use some Ableton stock plugins and you'll be able to download that rack for free. So let's grab an auto filter, an LFO, and raw. Let's start by putting them all in a group. Let's collapse the raw for now so we can focus on the auto filter and the LFO. We'll go a little bit quicker now. Let's set the filter to bandpass with 12 dB per octave. Let's change the LFO to sync on a quarter bar. Let's change it from sine to random. And let's map it to the frequency. Let's change this from soft to shards. Let's take the LFO and add it to the amount. Let's change it from bipolar to unipolar. Let's change the filter from low pass to high pass. So next step, let's click on this circle, right click, and let's create another chain. We will call this chain high and this chain low. Let's grab an auto filter and the flanger. Let's keep this filter on a low pass, but let's reduce the frequencies to around 400. Let's change the mode on this plugin to flanger. And this sounds a little bit low, so let's add a little bit of modulation. This time, let's use the internal LFO. Let's change it to sample and hold, and let's increase the amount a little bit, and let's change the rate to 2/4. Let's add some warmth. This needs a little bit of cleaning with an EQ. Sounding cool. Let's hear how they both sound in context. They're sounding good, but a little bit out of balance. So let's use a compressor to first of all control some of the high frequencies. Let's reduce the attack all the way down and release pretty low. We want to control the transients. Some of them sounds a little bit too harsh. Sounds much better. Let's add about 4 dB of gain. Before. Notice the difference between the louder and the quieter parts. And after. Sounds good. What about the low frequencies? Nothing is poking too much, but we need to balance it out a little bit. So let's grab a glue compressor also for this part. Let's keep the attack as it is, and let's increase the release a little bit. Let's give it 10 dB of gain. Before and after. Together. We started with this. And we ended up with this. Isn't that sounding so much more interesting? I absolutely love this technique. As I said, you'll be able to download this rack for free, and please have a play with it and experiment. Perhaps change the plugins, use some different settings within these plugins, and the most important thing is just have fun with it. Yep. Well, I had a great time making this video, and if you want to learn how I made this acid line, then watch this video next. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.